Through the telemetry analysis of the Bahrain Grand Prix, which was held last Saturday at the 5.412 kilometers Sakhir Circuit, we aim to understand whether or not the new Ferrari SF-24 car can challenge Red Bull for the World Championship title. Let's make this clear from the start. When talking about the World Championship, we are of course referring to the Constructors Championship, because, given Max Verstappen's pace and performance in Red Bull, the Drivers' Championship is pure utopia already after first round of the season. However, for Ferrari, the possibility of fighting with two strong drivers against one makes the consideration a bit more interesting. Sergio Perez's performance in Bahrain, which saw him doing exactly what Red Bull asks of him throughout the year, namely finish right behind Max Verstappen, should not be underestimated. The point, however, is exactly this. The Mexican showed in the last 2 seasons that he is not capable of performing like this throughout the entire Formula One campaign, and the Maranello team has to be ready to capitalize on all opportunities, even behind Max Verstappen. Therefore, by analyzing the telemetry from the first round of the season, let's try to understand if, given the Mexicans' difficulties, Ferrari can contend for the Constructors' Championship. For this reason, we turn our attention to the Carlos Sainz-Sergio Perez comparison, particularly in the second and third stints of the Bahrain Grand Prix. The first stint for both was affected by Charles Leclerc's brake issue. Analyzing the telemetry data related to the direct comparison between the Spaniard and the Mexican throughout the race, we can see how in the second stint the Ferrari driver's times are very consistent and on par with those of his rival. By calculating the arithmetic average of the time set by both, in fact, the race pace is virtually identical at a low 1.36. This means that with the hard tire, Ferrari was as competitive as Red Bull, or rather as competitive as the RB20 driven by Sergio Perez. However, analyzing the data, it's clear that in the last stint there's a trend reversal between Carlos Sainz with the hard tire and Sergio Perez with the red soft tire. In the last 6 laps of the race, indeed, the Spaniard from Ferrari recovers over 1.5 seconds on his opponent. Was Checo managing the gap? Without a doubt, but the margin didn't allow him to be too conservative. Clearly, Max Verstappen makes a significant difference behind the wheel of the RB20 compared to his Red Bull teammate. But in some tracks where Mercedes and McLaren can get closer, and Sergio Perez might start feeling the pressure given that his contract expires at the end of the current season, and his renewal will most likely not be confirmed until Red Bull evaluate his performances in the first part of the championship. It's not out of the question that Scuderia Ferrari could score many points against their rivals Red Bull in the 2024 Formula One Constructors standings. In short, from this brief analysis, it's evident that Ferrari is very competitive with the hard tire, definitely the second force, and at least on par with Sergio Perez. With the softer compound, there's certainly work to be done, but the Bahrain track has significant thermal degradation. It wouldn't be surprising if, by the next race in Jeddah, the Maranello team could keep up with Red Bull, car, and track characteristics permitting. Therefore, to the question, can Ferrari win the Constructors' Championship? The answer cannot be different from "we will see." But with one certainty, 12 months ago, it would have been a clear no, while today believing in it is no longer an illusion.